Hello and greetings, everyone. I hope you are doing well on this fine April Fool's Day. I hope you're not getting too fooled. Goodness knows I am, but usually it's by myself. I'm the best at fooling myself. Oh, so it has been a while, a minute and a half, if it will. And I'm glad to see some folks, and it's saying, oh, I got a new pin to chat. Well, I'm not pinned down yet. So, who do I see? I see a Trinary. You updated your screen name. Excellent. And Enderpup, Wubbles Moop, Jude 3300, and Building Block, who's looking left, looking right. Preston Cox. Katie, Pokemon Fire Eevee. Champ to Stay, and Red Gnome 110. So let's see here. Oh, a Henshin Fanatic. Even though I believe your icon is of Link, it's very small, so I can't quite see. And see, the Miner. Galaxy Pod Gotcha. Gojalai 91. Danny Lockhart Liviera. And Inquisitor 751. Sean Pendragon. And Elizabeth Snowbell. Good to see you all. And let's see, over on the Twitch side of things, well, haven't seen who's signed in just yet, but we shall. Also, I must take just a moment to check something. It's been a thing recently that YouTube, for reasons I do not understand, went and blocked some of my friends so that they couldn't post on during these streams, and that is just not okay. So let's see here, community. I just want to make sure that they haven't been mysteriously added back to the list. And judging, quick search. Nope, I believe we're okay. In this instance. Who knows? But YouTube, don't be blocking my friends, especially when I don't want to block them. It makes no sense. Oh, and hello, the Phantom Master 117. Good to see you. Oh, and welcome to Sora Kassane 1. Thank you for following. So, let's see. Let's get a little music going up in here. Because I'm by my lonesome this time around. And that's not a bad thing. I enjoyed a wonderful week driving up the West Coast and getting to meet friends and family of Sweetie Bloom. But there's also a point where you're like, I'm a little peopled out. So for this, and because it's a atypical stream, in which I am streaming a bit early. Oh, and hello, Khalid Hussein. Good to see ya. A question. So basically, I'm just doing things by my lonesome. But let's talk about what I'm doing. This is a request for Sniper Niter. One of my Patreon supporters, asking if I could create a drawing of Lilligant, the Pokemon, basically in full armor, and looking both beautiful and threatening, which one can do with armor. That is a very curious thing. But this is the Pokemon which I must first armor upgrade. I took the opportunity to just vector out a drawing ahead of time. I figured y'all didn't need to see me drawing a Pokemon. Instead, I must look to armor, and so I went online and just found some armor inspiration. So let's just make a quick layer here and put down some armor shots. I'll tell you true, female body armor in fantasy artwork, it's an odd thing. There's a part of me that when it looks utterly absurd that it's like, hey, nice. But there's another part of me that says that is impractical, cumbersome, probably incredibly uncomfortable to wear, and no sane human being would wear it. I am always at war with myself. Oh, good. Oh, Flitter, good to see ya. It's a good quiz. Oh, and Soren Kassane, thank you for considering me an inspiration. That's no small praise. Also, greetings to Elsing Ghost 1, Gojoline, you're pulling double duty on YouTube and the Twitch. So let's see here. Move you up here. Didn't I have duplicates? I would maybe have gone a little overboard with my references. Here we go. There we are. So let's see here. Saw an earlier question aimed at myself asking what happened to the video where I threatened to turn Flash Sentry into a Unix, as in operating system. That was a promotional video for David Silver's Legends of Everglow, sorry. And, well, I took it down because it was an ad that no longer, well, the promotional piece is out. It's done. And so, therefore, I see no reason to keep it up there. Welcome, Blazing Nova. Besides, I'd never force upgrade or downgrade Flash Sentry, not without his permission. I may torment him out of a joke, but I would never, like, physically assault. So, that was a question by Sam Schmidt. Danny Lockhart the Vieira. I've been well, but like I say, I have been off and away up the west coast of this fine country. A wonderful but also exhausting trip. I don't mind saying. I made the terrible mistake of trying to go to my a trainer both Monday and Wednesday after I got back. And I quickly found I had not regained any strength. If anything, I suffered something of a downgrade. So it's like, well, this is a fine how do you do? And I was tired. Even today, I find my limbs a bit leaden. Oh, you may be asking why today I'm doing this so early. Well, after 2 years of silence, a group that I very much enjoy, the Colorado Jungian Association, is having a meeting tonight. This is a group that brings in speakers from all over the world to talk about Jungian psychology. And while I am not a psychologist, I do find great interest in Jungian archetypal studies. So I want to go tonight and see what all they propose. It's been their topics that have given me ideas for videos on Jungian and panel presentations on Jungian psychology. Boom, boom. Would I fight Soren, Preston Cox? Well, depends on how I would fight him. Physically, hand-to-hand combat, I would most likely lose. Chucking his bling into a mountain, even then, it's not a guarantee, but I would try. I definitely would not want to end up like Wormtongue. Let's just put it that way. Wormtongue. Yeah, there's a little side. I mean, honestly, I forgot about him during the Lord of the Rings Into the Hobbit. Not sure why. I guess he just didn't make a big impression on me. In fact, my friends had to remind me, yeah, he was in The Lord of the Rings. All right, so just make this line a little thinner, maybe 1.5. Ooh, no, 0.75. There we go. The hard thing about making armor for a Pokemon, especially a plant Pokemon, is figuring out just how much they can handle. So let's say this arm, leaf, what have you, would go under the metal. This is just a reference I'm creating. I have a very different pose in mind for the actual Pokemon drawing. But I need to know what this armor should look like. What works, what doesn't. Life is more... Oh, who is oh yeah, was that my trainer? If I have to roll over or do a special stretch, I usually add a sound effect. And then some of the other trainers are like, wait, what was that? And it's like, come on, everything's more fun with sound effects. Try it. To my knowledge, they have not yet tried it. Bunch of fuddy-duddies. You can yell at people to push the envelope, but you can't bring yourselves to make a sound effect? Come on. Would I kill the Witch King the same way Erwin did? Let's see here. I'm trying to remember how Erwin did it. Mostly it was just stabbing, if I remember right. It has been a while since I saw The Lord of the Rings. I should fix that. But then, any time I fix for that could be spent watching Hamilton, as Sweetie Bloom will remind me. And, well, part of my trip, I got to check out the first dozen episodes of Avatar, The Last Airbender. So, time well spent. It's a very good series. But as I said at Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, I don't consider that anime. Though, I'll tell you all true, the anime section mostly had Batman animated movies, The Secret Life of Kells. It was not actually anime-oriented. Champ to say, have I ever been the April Fool? Oh, many a time. I think maybe the best example of when I've been fooled. I mean, I took part in an April Fool's prank with the brony community a few years back. But one year, I was just having a very bad day. Just moody teenager, things were all going quite wrong. So I wanted to turn on Toonami, which at that time was on weekday afternoons. But Cartoon Network was showing and looping the same episode of a lesser-known cartoon, Screwball Squirrel. And I was so mad, I couldn't understand why they were doing this until it finally hit me, oh, yeah, it's April Fool's Day. So once I realized that, I managed to calm down, but it also hit me, dang, I am wound tight. So April Fool's Day, I got fooled pretty good. In terms of being the fool, it's very rare that I've sought it out. I mean, I troll people for fun every day. And they're good to put up with me most of the time. But I wouldn't, so there's nothing about April 1st to me that says, oh, you must prank everyone. If anything, it's the one day they're expecting it. So am I trolling the trollers by not trolling? Ooh, did I just blow all your minds? Did I give you a trollception? Let's see here. Drawing armor on a flower-based Pokemon. Quite as a challenge. That's true, Inquisitor. We're all safer in tanks. Sadly, there aren't enough tanks to go around. Let's see here. I do want to add... I like the detailing on a lot of these. I would like to add some detailing to this armor. Otherwise, it's just sort of bleh. It just sits there, you know? There we go. I realized I had muted the music, so you guys couldn't even hear what I said. The Miner wondering who is sane in this world, not me or you. You are correct. And Danny Lockhart the Vieira challenging my knowledge of Pokemon, of which, it's a safe bet, I don't know. Apparently, this is the Lilligant of Unovann? I'm probably mispronouncing that. Unovann. There's another Lilligant out there who's more human. But Sniper Nighter was very specific in wanting this style of the Pokemon. Both beautiful and deadly in armor. So I may change the armor's color before I'm done. as that's, well, part of beauty. Though I'm not aware of not aware of a lot of famous figures in history who had colored armor. Fantasy, sure. Let's see here. Let's taper you. By the way, are you all able to hear the music okay now? It's not too loud, not too soft? Unova, says Pokemon Fire Eevee. Okay, Unova. Khalid, I'm sorry. HarmonyCon was a lot of fun. It's a shame that, well, location. What the hoo-ha? Ah, I see. Let's see here. If I split it off right here and do this and do this. There we go. Now we're looking a little bit better. The flaw in my cunning plan reveals itself. And so therefore, I must be cunning-er. Now, goodness knows, I'm so far behind in Pokemon, I don't even know what generation this here Lilligant would be. And Unova, well, clearly, if I don't even know how to pronounce it, I probably can't do much good locating it in Pokemon's timeline. I mean, I can say with pride, maybe not pride, but at least lack of irony, I watched Pokemon as a high schooler when Ash really did just start out his journey. In America. I don't know how many others can say that. But the fact that Ash is still a 10-year-old and I'm now in my 40s, well, there's some discrepancy for you. Actually, they at least celebrated Ash's birthday at some point. I mean, just hint to the audience that he's an 11-year-old now. Let's see here. Down we go. Let's see, I don't like how that looks. Maybe if I have it loop around like so. Thinking. Just trying ideas on the fly. Because that's how I roll. Now, Preston Ash would not fight Sauron. He'd get one of his Pokemon to do it, preferably Charmander. Oh, wait, sorry, Charizard. It fully evolved. And believe me, if you're going up against the Dark Lord, you want the full power Pokemon. Get one of them Mega Evolutions in the mix if you can help it. Let's see here. Have you ever heard... Goshalian wants to know, have I ever heard the story of the monster of Lake La Métrie? Can't say I have. Is this any sort of monster like, like the Loch Ness Monster? Goodness knows I was heartbroken when Nessie, the most famous Nessie photo, was a fake. Dare to dream. Of course, I recently watched a video talking about cryptid sightings in America or all over the world. I don't know. For some reason, we're drawn to the terror of the unknown. You know, we envision these creatures that are usually so dangerous, and yet we want to find them, or at least celebrate their idea. Let's see here. What are some knightly symbols? Is one a star with lots of vines? Just one sec. Here we go, chainmail. I'm just grabbing little vector support for chainmail. As goodness knows, I don't think you want to see me making that ad nauseum. There we go, chainmail armor. But let's see. So Battlecross, you've been in the woods. Spent a good deal of time in said woods. So I confess I've always lived more in the suburbs, so I am not well versed. Let's see here, Lilligant armor. Just want to make sure I'm saving this because one April Fool's I don't want to get caught with is, hey, all your hard work went down the drain. You will believe a hippogriff can cry then. Oh, yes. Okay, so back to the armor at hand. I feel like a Lilligant would want a tree as her armor. So let's see what we can do just to imply the idea. Yep, curve tool, there we go. See, sound effects better every time. Gojalan, your brother's going to do a dramatic reading of the story you mentioned earlier. I'm curious. Dramatic reading is the best. I tell you, one of the oddest things for 2021, after I was mourning my dog's passing, I got interested in cosmic horror, and there are some really great YouTubers who do dramatic readings of creepypastas. So if nothing else, I mean, it fascinates me, but at the same time, I'm like, huh. I didn't expect grief to lead me down this road. So dramatic readings, I'm all for them. Provided you can be properly dramatic. Me, I'd be too melodramatic. And let's have, like, one and two. Match the curve of the tree a little bit better. I should have done a search for, like, knight armor decorations. But, hey, hindsight's 2020, and there'll be chances to study that some more. Right now, let's just get some ideas going. There we go. Change that down low. Boop, boop. Pokemon would I want to be? Asked Nikki W. Well, let's see here. You know, I feel like it'd be a cop-out to say I want to be one of the legendary types that's like godly in power. I mean, let's keep it to anything you could theoretically catch in the game before the end game content. I do love to fly, and I am a fan of dragon types, so Dragonite seems like the obvious choice for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, my favorite is still Arcanine, the fire pupper, but I can't deny the allure of both flight and dragon breath. I would just stay well clear of the sea, of the dreaded Mantine army. You laugh now, but when they rise to conquer, you'll wish you'd heeded me. They'll all wish they'd heeded me. What type would be my Hippogriff? So if there was a Hippogriff Pokemon, gosh, what would that be? I would say it would be a mixture. Part ground type, part flying. I enjoy Hippogriffs as they are by their nature a mixture of extremes. An impossible offspring of two mortal enemies. Let's see. Another YouTuber, says Gojoland91, named the Omniviewer, did a video on the monster of Lake Lemaitre, and it was where I first heard of that story. Okay. So a dramatic reading of the monster of Lake Lemaitre, which I'm probably also mispronouncing. I'd be interested in hearing that. I mean, everyone's always a little fascinated by creatures of local... stories of local creatures. And I must be tired. My brain and my mouth are not talking to one another. But trust me on the whole Mantine uprising. It will happen. Fire flying, because then it's a roasted pigeon, says Torterra1324. Really, Torterra? Am I going to have to get out the Poke Blue Balls again? But I am not a fire type. That's more Firebrand. I am more wind, well, not grass. I'm not that connected, but rock type. Imagine being able to fly and do rock throw. That would be something. Although I imagine there's already a Pokemon that can do that. I am not so deluded as to think I am the first to come up with that idea. There we go. Ba-doop. There we go. I think that implies a tree quite nicely. What was my strongest school subject? Asked Champ to Stay. My strongest subject? I was usually really good at math. I don't know why, but for a time, math I liked the most because it had a very clear yes, no, right, wrong. English and philosophy and all those other topics, you could argue or smooth talk your way through each and every one. But math, you either knew it or you didn't, and I guess for a time that appealed to me. But I guess as things went forward and I became far more confused by the world, philosophy started to catch more of my interest. Now I wasn't looking for arbitrary right and wrong. I was like, well, what about in this scenario? What's this mean? Are we at our best or at our worst in this? Yada yada. The questions kept piling up, so I developed a mentality. Or I just became mental. One could argue the same. Let's see. Pokemon Fire Evening. You had a backstory for OC that was a clone of Giovanni, raised by Professor Oak. Interesting theory. I wonder what Professor Oak, sort of a father figure to Ash and many others. Widely regarded and beloved in the Pokemon. Of course, isn't he also the character at the start of the game? Are you a boy or a girl? You can't tell by looking? I really would rather you tell me. Boy, that's got... I wonder if that's a thankless job. Here, take one of my world-exclusive starter Pokemon. You can never find another one in the entire world, unless you're Ash Ketchum. Now let's see here. This armor depicts some sort of symbol, an L and a P, a sword and a scythe? I'm wondering if I should go with the same tree insignia, or actually Lilligant would be an LG. That sounds good. So L, G. Now let's see here. We got to stylize these something awful. What do I have that looks sort of elegant, curvy, little too elaborate there. LG, 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 to her. I used that already. Nope. I do appreciate that they started adding previews, so now I can see what the letters would look like. Huh. Monotype Corsiva. This might work, but let's not settle for the first thing that looks good. Just gotta remember, Monotype Corsiva. Monotype Corsiva, just looking. Huh. All these fonts and only a few are really... I mean, I guess this is LG. You know what? With all that twisting, and I could probably make this look like a tree. Let's give this a try. Type, create outlines. And let's ungroup them. So if I take the G, interesting. Maybe. Of course, then you can't tell what's the L and what's the G. Well, and then, well, the L should come first, as it's a Lilligant. Ooh, a little infinity there. Let's see here. Sniper Nighter, you wonder, Archeops is the Pokemon for me. Wait, Archeops, isn't that the flying pterodactyl? Oh no, what in the hoo-ha hey is this thing? This is a new one. The first bird Pokemon. I don't know how to feel about this, Sniper. I mean, it's both fascinating, but also a bit bizarre. So yeah, I guess it is me. Let me just see if I can get an image for any and all who haven't seen this yet. Convert. I've exceeded my minutes. Fooey. 1 sec. Well, now I've minimized what I was trying to do. Oh, coordinated as ever. I thought the Archaeops was the flying pterodactyl, but that's something else. Aerodactyl? Oh, yeah, Aerodactyl. Now, this, everyone, is an Archaeops. So, and Sniper Nighter thinks this one would be a good match for me. And you know what? I think they're right. Yes, Helsing Ghost, I am going to add chainmail between the skirt. Oh, welcome, Ranch Hog. Sorry, I started a little early this time because, well, I'm going to attend a Jungian Society meeting tonight. And so, therefore, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on another week of art. I mean, I was very grateful to be part of the Too Much Positivity discussion 2 weeks ago. I had a wonderful time driving with Sweetie Bloom up the coast. Granted, she was driving her car, I was driving the U-Haul. And I had never driven a U-Haul before. So that was both an adventure and a challenge. But you know what? There's that saying, do one thing every day that scares you. I admit, driving the vast unknown. But here's the thing, I didn't really feel scared in the car until we were actually close to a destination, and then I had to actually find a spot. Traveling was actually quite relaxing. It's navigating that'll drive you nuts. But with Waze, and I can promise you that was not an easy thing, Waze. I mean, it had me go through a cul-de-sac just to do what a U-turn could have affected. I do not understand. Let's see here. Stylize. How about an inner glow? Whoa, too much. No, not an inner glow. Where's the bevel and emboss on this thing? Glowing edges. Help. Bevel. Extrude and bevel. There we go. Ooh. Now we're getting freaky. I don't know if it's coming through on the stream, though. Well, we'll see what I can accomplish. Okay, there we go. Now you're seeing it. And we can see we're going to rotate this way. Not going to rotate it too much that way. Depth 0.2. Maybe not that much depth. 0.1. Okay. There we go. Now the trick is, I will now mask it off. Why? Because I can. Aha. The idea here is that it goes into, but not past, the border. So let's see here. And let's see, now we need another part of the skirt. Though, it's funny when I say skirt, I envision, something soft fabric. Flowing. No, this is a metal skirt. This is, you wear this and someone's going to get hurt. Probably the other person. But that's the point. Now, for this one, let's see here. Let's consider our references some more. Don't want to duplicate the tree too much, otherwise it just gets kind of boring. Ooh, actually, I like this idea. I like down here this thing. So let's, instead of making this one solid skirt, let's make it several plates. Just because there's something of a center. What? Oh, didn't need to do that, right? There we go. Let's see here. So, Elizabeth Snowbell, I like her thinking. A skirt made a blade that looked like petals. Well, I don't know if I can make these blades, but I'll definitely make them sharp. Will that be something? Lilligant's like, first at the battlefield, then I'm going to the rave party. And the mosh pit. You're going to change between now and then, right? Right? Let's make this a bit more rounded here. Because the goal is to have it taper down in size to match Lilligant's natural flower skirt. Petal skirt? I'm not sure. But I'm definitely putting the petal to the metal. Button was stuck there for a sec. What was the hardest thing the hardest drawing, Shocker 27? The hardest drawing? Well, it's always been, everything's a challenge, I guess. So, but I think one where I pushed myself the most. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Nope. Where was it? It was a drawing I did for a fantasy sci-fi idea I had. Apologies, this makes the screen flash a little. Where did I put it though? My drawings. Oh well. Basically, it was a drawing in which I didn't rely on line artwork. It was all shades and tones. Ah, there we are. It was early on. Man, I guess it's actually been close to a decade since I drew this. But I still have it. It was an attempt and mixed results. I'm pleased with the texturing. I'm pleased that I could make things look distinct. I think I would do much better on the eyes, however, and the nose. So that was an early attempt. Oh, hey Syncree, how you doing? Uh, Champ to stay. Thoughts on the fourth wall humor, the best, weirdest example you've ever seen? Well, I gotta say, The Emperor's New Groove probably had the most fun with fourth wall, especially the question of, Crunk, how did we get here first? And, they just, by all accounts, it doesn't make any sense. But, let's see, weirder fourth wall humor. Well, there was always Death Battle, Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, turning it into one glorified clip show and a draw. My Little Pony and Deadpool, a win, a loss, and a draw each. I'll always be sorry that Twilight Sparkle lost to Raven, but I understand why. And let's see here. Now, here's a little something that I find very useful. The offset button. It offsets things by just the right amount. That is not the right amount. Too little, just right. And we'll make these lines thinner because they are... Oh. There we are. Ah, shocker. I have watched Smile HD. I have not shown my friends. I did see like a picture of little kids at a school were watching what looked like the opening to Smile HD, and it's like, no! I'm hoping the teacher just dove right in and hit the pause button. And let that be a lesson to you. Don't just trust just because it says My Little Pony doesn't mean you should trust it on the internet. Honestly, part of me gets the grim humor, but why would you assume that ponies would kick the Everland daylights out of each other? Somebody needed a hug that day. Of course, if I remember right, Fluttershy was also a dominating force. It's like, you don't mess with the shy. I can't fault that entirely. Not entirely. Nor can I praise it. So what's the line? Without condoning or agreeing, I can understand. There we go. Now here's an issue. Whoops. There we go. Get it all in the same group. And save. Uh-oh, Champ, you're saying Thomas the Tank Engine has the same... How do you show tanks kicking the ever-loving daylight out of each other? Asking for a friend. Whoops, wrong. And let's see here. Can I make a pattern out of this? Not especially. Not as it is right now. But goodness knows there's always adaptability. Ah, not from that. Okay, whoops. Archer, you're trying to come back on me. That was the character's name, Archer Noland. Let's see if this works. Minus black, outline, crop. Object, pattern, make. I think that'll work. Chainmail. Show switchband, yada yada yada. Pattern. Okay. So now that that's done, let's see what we can do. If I fill a pattern with the chainmail, ooh, no, must be bigger still. Objects, expand, fill. So that makes this no longer just a pattern, but an actual object. This might take a minute. And then we shrink that pattern down. I said we shrink that pattern down. Come on. Oh dear. I may be asking too much of my computer at this point. Oh, good afternoon, Super Godzilla X vlogs. See, I'm an old man. I can't quite pronounce these correctly. You know, that's one thing I learned on this trip. I'm not much of a vlogger. I don't record every moment of the trip. The Blockbuster was an exceptional case. The last Blockbuster on Earth. But I don't record, like, when we're having lunch and dinner, or if we're at a hotel. I don't know, I guess there's a part of me that always wants to keep IRL and online personality life separate. Good Lord. And there's a part of me that wishes this chainmail would behave and stop slowing everything down. There we go. Come on now. There we go. Do I have a favorite Pokemon play button? Yes. My favorite is Growlithe into Arcanine. Fire Pupper. It's part of the original generation, which is the one with which I'm most familiar. It's a fire type, which I do enjoy fire type in combat. And it's a dog. So instant respect from me. I suppose I should also be clear that my starter is Charmander. Nikki W., I do know Overly Sarcastic Productions. I've watched some of their trope talks. And some of their historical coverage. Very enjoyable. Granted, when they talk archetypes, it's more, and understandably, stock characters. I don't think they really have approached it from a Jungian perspective yet. I wonder if they have Jungian fans in their group. And judging, I know there are at least 3 people who work on that, probably more. I find I'm a little jealous. I don't know a lot of offline friends who could work with me on something like that. It's not a shared passion. And I wouldn't want to drag them into something they weren't really enjoying. Envelope distorts. Make with a warp. Let's go with a flag. Eventually. Oh, Evangelion 007. We'll see you when you get back. Oh, is Dr. Wolf's channel? Oh, that's right. He was promising a new TF2. And featured me on my character along with Firebrand. I was like, but I've stepped down as the Red Team Heavy. What trickery is this? I'll have to check it out maybe after the stream, but before the meeting. Trickery, I say. Let's see here. Mary Sue's will be trolled with everything and anything because it will be fun within fun, so on and so forth. Get to it, Silver-Quill, because there's roasting that needs to be done. Well, I don't know. I don't seek to flame a Mary Sue. Otherwise, I'd probably get Maddie in the crossfire. And Khalid, you're correct. There is a new MLP coming up, but as it's April 1st, it means it'll be this month and next month. I think next month is the CG special. I'm not entirely sure what to make of Make Your Mark just yet. I'll need to see the actual show. And let's see here. Let's expand this as well because I need to distort it yet more. Okay. Oh, Nakali, don't write something up before it's even had a chance to air. It's one thing if we all have reservations, hesitations. I understand that. But if you know something's going to be awful, then you'll do everything in your power to make it so. That's the strange, self-fulfilling prophecy that is we human beings. Always loved Star Trek when Guinan is talking to Riker after the Borg have taken Picard. She says, when a man is convinced he's going to die, he'll do everything in his power to make that happen. And that's, given the situation they were in, that was not weak advice. But I get you, Khalid. You grew up with G4. Me, I grew up with G1 Transformers. But I can freely say that the Transformers that have come since, the newer shows, I'll always have a soft spot for G1, but I can say that there's better storytelling, better continuity, and better characterization with these new iterations. Partly because the kids who enjoyed the show growing up now are writing for it. Good on them. Now, that doesn't mean I regard every Transformers show equally. I only just recently saw on Netflix that they have some sort of Transformers mall bots. They're just objects at a mall that transform when everyone goes home for the day. Like, what? What? What happened to battling the evil Decepticons? Let's see here. Shocker's wondering if I pulled an April Fool's prank on my friends. No, but I did see them last night, and one friend he's been working on a lot of hard projects of his own. And as a little encouragement, we got him this Fate, the Fate anime. I'm not sure which entry in the franchise. But this figurine he really enjoys. And he gave me a big old hug when I gifted it to him because it was something he'd wanted for a long time. So I don't prank for April Fools. I guess I will spoil people for April Fools. Now, Khalid, I confess I have not, as champ, I have not seen much of Thomas the Tank Engine in general. I have no idea about what the newer generation's like. Bot says Building Block. Building Block says bots. Bot. Who came up with that name? Bots. Hey, we need to have a new hip thing for the kids. Let's call it bots. Isn't that what a chicken says? Okay, Nathan, you're confirming that Dr. Wolf has released an April Fool's video. Play button. You're looking to start up a review channel. Well, I mean, I could give you tips on how to set up a puppet, things I've learned that I wish I'd known originally. It depends on what tools you have available to you, however. Biggest thing I encourage people with reviews is to focus on something you really enjoy and build off that. I really enjoy storytelling and characterization. That's what I focus on. Other folks I know really enjoy music, and so they would rather talk about the music in an episode. Or perhaps, if you have a lot of cultural knowledge on a topic, you can talk about how it's represented in an episode. All these things, all of which can be reviewed and commented upon. But I guess the biggest caution I have is don't let 10% of the episode take up 90% of your review. It's a trap many people, including myself, fall into. That there's maybe something so good or usually so outrageous that we talk about that to the exclusion of the whole episode. And that, I think, is an example of overthinking. Because you're focusing too much energy on just this one little part. You know, I kind of figured chainmail would be the hardest part of this, and I'm not. So far, I'm proving myself correct. Come on now. Come on, chainmail. Work with me here. Work with me, chainmail. Come on. I'm getting the spinny beach ball of doom. Yes. Distorting. Rotating. But are you doing what I tell you to? There you go. Do as I command. Pretty please. Wait, that would be a great tyrant in a story. He's like super demanding, but also very polite. Do as I command, pretty please. Seize them if it's not too much trouble. Let's see here. The weirdest YouTube ad, Inquisitor, that I've ever seen. The weirdest YouTube ad. Most of them have always just been sort of meh to me. I can't say I've seen a YouTube ad that's like, wow, that was really clever. All right, I guess I'll go with the weirdest YouTube ad was actually during That Guy with the Glasses, when he does his paid promo. A video game had come out, and he was trying to use it to cut celery or open doors, basically anything other than playing a game. And while I get that it's kind of funny, it's also clear that he hadn't played the game even once. So like, I think it was having the opposite effect of what he wanted. Instead of making a funny gag promoting a game, it made it clear he's not really for the game. Let's see here. This chainmail is doing better, but could be reaching further. Goodness gracious. I'm really slowing down my computer just trying to get this darn thing to work with me. Apologies, you're probably in the really boring part of the stream. The Ukrainian Foreign Legion, like calling on people to help go and fight? I mean, I know that there are brave souls who have actually dropped everything and gone to assist the war in Ukraine. I have no idea how they're going to get there or how they're going to integrate themselves into the forces. I have zero combat experience, and therefore I would be nothing but a liability on the battlefield. Now what's this, computer? I wanted you to duplicate, not move what I'd worked so hard to get. Oh, hello, Nexus Galaxy. You're right on time, because you're here, and that's good. So, I don't know. Has YouTube been doing anything for April Fool's Day? I mean, usually it just screws everyone over on a daily basis. I can't picture them doing anything else. Oh, that would be the harshest thing. If YouTube was perfectly run and dropped the copyright nonsense for a day, and then just said, oh, that was April Fool's, we're back to hating you. Khalid, I know several people from Canada. Two of the most wonderful people are Naomi and Diane, whom I met on a trip. They have a distinct love of puns, and so we connected right away. And you're right, I am lucky to have been born American. I'm lucky that I don't have to face the violence and the threat that so many people are facing in so many parts of the world right now. I wish the stability I enjoy could be the norm of the world, but we're not there yet. Well, Khalid, I only know Claire Corlett a little bit, mostly from conventions, but mostly, we do a Hooves Line Is It Anyway panel, and then, well, she's a guest of honor, I'm a community guest. She is shuffled off, and I go back to my venting table. So, she's a wonderfully nice person, but I can't claim that I know her as a personal friend. Let's see here, envelope sort. I mean, truth be told, you think YouTube personalities are all best buds. I only get to see like AC Racebest and Saberspark and Paleo when we're doing Hooves Line, and maybe if they wander through the vendor hall. We don't get to hang other than that. Which is, well, so I'd like to get to know them better as people. But they're fun guys, and they have this wonderful talent for building a community and energy wherever they go. I have no doubt if they graduate to other fandoms, they'll do something equally creative. Trinary, how many VAs are Canadian? I do not know. I mean, I assume a good majority. The 5 who voiced the main 6. Yeah. Wait, is it 5? I'm trying to remember this. Twilight Sparkle's voice actress, Tara Strong. And there's Ashley Ball, Andrea Lehman, Tabitha St. Germain. There's only 4, isn't there? Oh, and Spike. And Spike's Kathy Westlock as Spike. Never forget Spike, even though the poor guy seems to suffer that fate. Oh, such a lord, this processing is taking forever. Forever and a day. Okay. Hoka. Does being a brony make them a furry? You know, Checker, I guess it depends on how you define things. I would still classify brony and furry as two separate fandoms. Specifically because furry seems to have arisen without any core pillar of interest. It's sort of multimedia conglomeration. While MLP has a very clear inspiration in the show. I'm sorry, Sweetie Bloom. I didn't want you troubling yourself. You've got enough going on. You don't have to attend. I have been telling people about the wonderful time I had traveling with you, but also exhaustion from, well, being done. I hope you... Actually, the last I saw Sweetie Bloom, she was tweeting that she had to stay up late to have energy. I'll see what I can do, Khalid, about having Race given folks a shout out. Probably during the Bronies React panel. Well, apologies, sweetie. This was all done somewhat spur of the moment. I have a meeting tonight with the Jungian Society. But honestly, I genuinely thought you'd be at work or volunteering. My bad. Oh, and there's a Chris. Oh, I haven't done a very good job of paying attention to the folks on Twitch. I'm sorry. Jungian, not Union. Elsing goes, scale armor is an interesting idea. I've certainly thrown myself into the technical realm with chainmail, which is certainly proving a challenge for my poor computer. Well, let's see here. Dang it. I know I can line this up better. I just got to wait for the computer to work with me here. Oh, Seth, I don't even know if I could get clerical at... See, now, guys like Dusty and Race, they've been at this for so long. They can make friends with the show staff because they're a recognizable presence from the very dawn of the fandom. I came in second wave reviewer, and reviewers, I think, have a much less positive association, as we usually just, well, depending on how the tone, it's very possible for reviewers to suck all the fun out of something. I've been in the experience. I understand how people perceive it that way. I try not to be that drain, however. Oh, what? Noah Harris, welcome. Ah, Cursus is going too far. I gotta wait for it. Gotta wait for it to pan out. This is always the thing I hate when you're just trying to inch something and the computer has to chew it over. So you watch it inch and inch and inch, and it's still not enough. Nope, still go. Oh dear, I'm gonna be at this for a while. Ricky Morgan, I appreciate the compliment on my drawing, but I can't claim any skill at drawing the Pokemon. I mostly just copied a reference. The armor is my attempt. Apparently to drive my processor to an early grave. Although that was one of my favorite moments on the trip with Sweetie Bloom. We're just resting after driving for a while, and I point out this tweet with a cat that's curled up on the inside of a computer. And I was like, hey, look, central processor. And Sweetie Bloom looks at me and says, Silver, who do you think retweeted that? And I look, sure enough, she beat me to the punch. She done got me. There we go. Now get rid of some of this overlap. And I need just pure black to mask it out. Nope, that's not right. Much better. Oh, shocker, I would turn it off and on again, except I'd lose the stream. I'm in the catch-22 of tech support. The simplest solution is likely the best, but I can't do it. You know, it's funny, I learned the IT crowd right after an appendectomy. That humor got me through some recovery. No, I did get your song on the Twitter. I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing yet. Apologies. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Elson Ghost makes a point of scale armor. I'm wondering. Let's check the old Vecteezy again for a pattern. Scale armor. Not quite. What about leaves? I was hoping they'd have like a leaf pattern I could duplicate. There's an idea. There you go. Let's experiment real quick. Apologies, you're probably getting a bit of a flashing screen. I'm sorry for that, everyone. It is a consequence of when I navigate on my computer. Let's try something. Let's go with this leaf. Save what I got, because goodness knows I'm not losing this again. Oh, appreciate the praise, everyone. Also, Thomas River, you wouldn't try scale armor. You'd end up dragging all over the place. Nicely done. Let's see here. So I'm going to leave that scale armor there for just a minute. Or that chainmail, I should say. There we go. So here's a leaf. That's my power of observation. This is a leaf. Leave me alone, please go away, I'm doing fine. And we're going to merge that. And we're going to make these taper off a little. Boop, boop. Bring that up. There we go. Now let's make you darker. And add an outline. And let's see if I make a pattern of these. Would that make an interesting scale mail? Tail. Hail. Sorry, I'm a rhyming quail. Brighter or darker on the chain? I would go darker. Because it's meant to fill in the gaps, not take the focus away. This is the fun of Illustrator. You can experiment. You can try different things and not lose everything in the process, provided you save. Moonstone, Silver Diamond Team, Mr. M, the top heroes. I am making a custom armor set for a Patreon thank you to Sniper Nighter, who requested a armored-clad Lilligant from the Unova region. Unova, I think. Let's see here. Nathan saying, a Tarek is more like a train wreck inside a Yeet toilets, which looks like a ladybug at Twilight Sparkle in rage mode. Oh boy. Little toilet humor. It's a sign that this stream is going down the drain. Come on now. Wow, even the saving is slow because of the chainmail. That's not a complaint, it's just a fact. Well, while we're waiting on this, I can give a report. I showed my friends pictures of the trip Sweetie Bloom and I took of Seattle, especially of this wonderful crystal glass garden exhibit. But then last night, while I'm showing my friends, Kaiju no Kami hears that there's a chance the Buffalo Bills might leave their home city, his former home of Buffalo. And all of a sudden he's fascinated and looking this up, and it's like, dude, you pay zero attention to sports. It has no meaning to you. Why are you ignoring my photos for this? I don't mind saying I was actually just a little bit offended. And yes, Sweetie Bloom endured my puns for a week. So, everyone, offer praise to Sweetie Bloom, for she has won the prize of the most patient being on the planet. She hath endured the unendurable. She hath managed to come out of that trip sane. So all praise to Sweetie Bloom and her patience. Okay. Now let's see here. Object, pattern, make. What can we do? Nothing so common as a grid. That's good. No? Whoop, that's a bit too much, but that's looking good. Yes, yes, I think this will work. As it goes, I think you've given an excellent idea here. Let's see if this works. Leaf armor, I will call it. So let's see how this looks on the other side. We can have a little comparison. I'll see what people like more. The chainmail or the plate scale mail? Come on. Oh, not quite, not quite. Didn't quite make it work the way I wanted, but all things are fixable. I wonder if I can get any color variance going on this thing. Leaf armor, dim. Nope, I liked it that way. Okay, let's see here. Come on, we're gonna. I think I'm gonna have to make the same demands of my computer. So, object expand. All right, Gojalion, enjoy a wonderful dinner. Thanks for swinging by. Chris, I see you on both the Twitch and YouTube. Keen Leafs. Excellent. No, sweetie, you did not drive me crazy, and it was not a test. I believe we both had fun. That's the most important thing. It was a fun time. Okay, now, as part of this, I can't have half-complete leaves. Come on. Come on. Hey. Oh, that didn't work the way I thought it would. Well, one thing at a time. We'll figure this out. Object envelope restored. Come on now. Let's see here. Let's see. Here. Oh. Okay, I think I know a trick that might make this if I go with the scale mail a little bit more of a believable, more believable. But that will have to wait a moment, as I first have to get this thing situated. There we go. Alrighty. Everyone in the chat, you see before you two examples. Granted, both are very rough in concept. We have the chainmail on one side. That's over here. And we have the scale mail over this side. Which do you like more? And I'm especially eager to hear Sniper Nighter, as, well, this is your piece. Oh, and welcome to Principalo. Ooh, watching wrestling with your dad. That's a good time. Days are extended here. Okay. People are liking... I get the sense people are liking the scale mail. Scale mail is more on theme. The chain mail is more elegant, which matches the overall Pokemon. A good insight, Sweetie Bloom. All right. Then further thought appeals to me. If I may use scale mail for the skirt and chain mail more around the head and leaves, I think that could work well. Yes. Okay, I like this thinking. I like your thinking, chat. Y'all are smart people. You know what you like. So let's try something else. Object, brush. How do I make a... Suddenly thinking... Blend, environment, blah, 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 blah. Window brushes. Come on now, computer mind, don't be shy. We're going to do something to make the chain mail a little, the scale mail, a little more believable. And for the time being, sorry to make y'all wait patiently through the scale mail, or the chain mail, just to double back. New brush. Let's see, this will be an art brush. Scale proportionally. Plate mail brush. Okay. Not sure that brush is what I seek. Let's find out. Oh, definitely not. Brushes, brushes, brushes. There you are. Okay, no, you will not work. Let's try this again. Experimentation. Pattern brush. There we go. That's what we need. Let's see here. I need it to auto in between. Scale mail leaf brush. So now if I draw a scale mail, All right, that's looking good. That's looking good. But let's make it so... How do I rotate it? Let's see here. My goal is to have it vertical. So I'm not quite where I want to be. How do I rotate you, a brush? Spacing fixed. Oh, I know. It's just a matter of playing with it. Mail, leaf. Let's try this instead. Haha, even then it defies me. You defy me! Well, actually, that's not so hard. I can figure that out. So, here is my grand theory. If I just draw a series of brushes down the way. Brushes. Thank you. It's funny that there's a top and a bottom to this. I never would have dreamed. There we go. And then just duplicate. And maybe stretch them out. And I've run out of music. Let's get that shuffling again. But in doing so, I can make scale mail that works right. What's this? Something good news is happening. Or is it, so I've been reading your friend's webcomic. Oh, Glass Scientists. And it's going to be published. Congratulations. Let's see here. Now, I admit I'm out of the loop on this one. I don't know anything about Glass Scientists. I mean, we just enjoyed Glass Artistry, which I hope to make a quick video about, because there's a wonderful life lesson embedded in that art that I think people would enjoy. So I will try to produce a video on that very short. It'd be a very quick video, as I need to work on Common Ground, Patton Oswalt family episode. Group and out, and we'll put right, yeah. See? There we go. How's that looking, chat? Well, is it giving the proper impression of armor? So I'm going to flip it over here. Let's see here. Let's see. Sweetie Bloom is correct in saying that getting me to consume media is a task in and of itself. She enlightened me to about a dozen episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then Trinary enlightened me to the good place. I think we only got 2 episodes in at Ciderfest. And Fiora and Sophia gave me... No, sorry, Sophie. There was Sophie and Sophia in the same room. They introduced me to The Expanse. But the simple truth is, to get me to sit down and watch something, you've got to sit down and watch it with me. Because, quite frankly, parallel play is that much more fun. I mean, it's one thing to watch a TV show. It's another thing to experience it with a friend. It's true. Okay. We're coming along. Some false starts here and there, but I think we managed to cover some stuff. So, let's see here. Now, here's a conundrum. How do you give shoulder armor to something that doesn't have arms? It has leaves. And let's see here. These shoulder pads, too much. Way too big. This armor with the arm street here only goes so far in that it requires shoulders to go all the way down. And that's true of most of their stuff. So here's a thought. Yes. A good thought. Brushes. Cancel. I'll just use one leaf. One big leaf. And I'll put that over, well, under this collar and go the chainmail from there. I think that'll work. Let's find out. Now, we're going to try the chainmail again. And we'll see if it will drag me down just as much. You're bringing me down, chainmail. You're bringing me down. Let's see that. Let's see here. 80s style shoulder pads. Oh, 80s style Thomas Revolver. I'm mostly thinking of 90s style shoulder pads, which were bigger. The pads were bigger than the guy's head. Cable back in those days. The X-Men character, not the television service. Cable was all about the shoulder pads. See here, I dare say this pattern leaves something to be desired. Let's try that again. No pockets or pouches or feet. Okay, Thomas. Well, okay, the feet were like no ankles was the problem in the 90s. Everybody seemed to just have like feet that jutted out of a point on their leg. The art of the ankle was lost. Oh, Sniper Nighter, you missed a lot of trial and error. Mostly error on my part. But with feedback from the chat, we gave a nice plate armor to the skirt, which looks like leaves. Leaf plate armor. And now I'm trying to apply some chainmail above the leafy arms. There we go. All these little links make it somewhat hard to move this around. Here we go. Come on now. There we go. And now just a little bit more vanilla to start. I'm going to try the flag distortion. Come on, computer, chew through it. There you go. You can do it. Oh, maybe not that much perspective. There we go. All right, good point from Thomas that chainmail gives you such a pinch. I've always been impressed. At like Renaissance fairs and conventions, I've seen people who hand make chainmail. They bend each link into the section for their armor. That is no small feat of dedication or craft. Oh, Nathan, you speak to the Warhammer woes. I'm only dimly aware of all that that community has had to suffer in terms of cease and desist and takedowns. So basically, the creators fighting their own audience. I don't understand how they're gonna win that with that strategy. I don't think it'll be a win at all. Come on now. Indeed, again, my poor computer is just running a little slow with this. But that's okay. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, which is when I was going to pause. Again, apologies for folks who didn't see that I was starting early and I snuck up on them. April Fools? Let's see here. There we go. Come on now. You can do it, computer. I believe in you. All right, let's save after that because goodness knows, I believe in you. I'm just not stupid. So, plans for this moving forward. I think I will put, as recommended, put something under the scale mail, or no, the chain mail, just so that there's no implied pinching. Next time, we will work on a helmet, which is going to prove interesting, as this darn flower thingy on top of the Lilligant's head, which I just completely jumped past. As I understand it, this flower is not technically part of the Lilligant. It is a flower that grows on top of it. Pokemon biology is confusing. But if I can put a helmet under that flower, we may yet see some success. Oh, sorry, Cosmo Inspira. I had to move things up today on account of a meeting later tonight. A meeting I'm very much looking forward to, but, well, I didn't want to miss another week of art. So, apologies, I've pulled a prank on Air Buddy. It is part of their head, Phantom Jumper? Man, I don't know. Pokemon are confusing. As long as Lilligant here doesn't suffer the same fate as Paris and Parasect. Because from what I understand, that shroom on their noggin actually takes control of their brains. Sort of like The Last of Us. It's a terrifying concept. I tell you, Pokemon are dark and scary, and if you read what they actually put in their Pokedex, you're just like, holy crud. Someone was having a bad, dark day when they dreamt up this character. But there we go. We get a slight elegance of the chainmail on the sleeves. And the leaf-themed scale plating down below. I'm liking this. I don't know, Phantom Jumper. I don't know if any helmet can go over this flower. I feel like it can only go underneath. Drifloon's Pokedex, apparently. Oh dear. Excellent, Sweetie Bloom. B-Leaf in the save, yes. Excellent, excellent. Anywho, everyone. This is fun. This has been a challenge, and I appreciate you sticking with me through some of the false starts and failed attempts. But every attempt hopefully makes the final piece that much better. And in the meantime, I hope you can all have a good, restful weekend. April Fool's Day can throw everything off. I mentioned when I was a kid and had a bad day, and April Fool's just made it worse. So, if you can just have a day where you can exhale and take it easy. Or, if you're Sweetie Bloom, take it easy. I know you're starting a graveyard shift at your new job, and we're all rooting for you. But do take it easy on yourself whenever you can, please. Pretty please, I beg of ye. In the meantime, everyone, I will wish you all a wonderful weekend and just the best hopes for the future. Be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.